Hi, good noon students. Today we are going to have a session for study in Australia. We are going to be live very soon with the representative from Federation University, IIBIT campuses in Australia. I'm just waiting for him to get live, but before that let me give you a few brief. So Federation University has campuses in Sydney and Adelaide. Adelaide is a regional campus. That's a very significant thing because Australia has announced extra year of post-study work. So if you study in Adelaide, you get 3 years of post-study work after 2 years of study. So that's very important. And we are going to talk about the courses, the situation in Australia, the entry requirements, the post-study work, PR opportunities, settlement, a lot of things, all the questions students have. So I'm still waiting for Tanuj to come. He's just finished a session with someone. Okay, so student, I'm still waiting for Mr. Tanuj to be with us live in a few moments. So as soon as Mr. Tanuj joins us, we'll be live and talking to him. So before that, give me a brief about what is going on still in Australia. So Australia is more or less safer from COVID. There is some outbreak in the state or the province of Victoria and majorly in Melbourne city, where most of Indians are settled down or living there, but still not as alarming or as huge numbers in Australia with the total virus count. So I think he's joining us. Okay, so he'll be with us to talk, and we'll discuss the Sydney campus and the campus and what the opportunities, how it's going in pandemic, all those things. So
hello, Jagdeep ji.
Hello. Hi, Mr. Tanuj. Are you able to hear me? Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Am I audible?
But the connection is interrupted, I believe, and yes, audible. But I believe the connection is a little bit interrupted, and the video is going on pause mode. In between. So
I'm not able to hear you. Do you have the right connectivity over there?
Yes, I have all the connectivity, so it's good. But if you can allow me just
so now I'm able to hear you. Now I'm able to hear you easily.
Wonderful.
So wonderful. So welcome to our live chat today. We are having this UNI-STUD series for the benefit of the students, so they understand what's the situation right now, what are the rules and regulations and the laws. They get to know more about the Federation University and its campuses. So I'll just give you the baton for now to just give a brief about the university.
Sure. Thank you so much for this opportunity. First of all, sir, it's a pleasure being associated with INPHASE once again. And I hope students might fetch some fruitful information today from this session. So, hello everyone. My name is Tanuj, and I work with IIBIT as the marketing manager, and I'm based in New Delhi. So, talking about IIBIT and who we are. So, this is a premier institute, a private education provider in Australia. Established in the year 1999, so we have almost completed more than 20 years now, and we are associated with Federation University since 2000. So it's been almost 20 years with Federation University, where we are offering. Yeah, we are offering.
Because you just told us that you've been associated with one university for 20 years now. That's a big achievement in the international student sector, because we've seen many players come and go, university partnerships come and go, But IIBT Federation has been a rock solid partnership for 20 years, and there have never been any compliance or other issues.
Absolutely not. So indeed, yes, it's an achievement, sir. And we hope, we continue, offering the quality education and quality programs to international students, especially, coming from India, and within India, Punjab, Haryana, and North Belt has been quite a good market. We have,
Right.
genuine students, coming in and completing their programs with IIBIT, and availing the services, the benefits that we are offering, in association with Federation as well as IIBIT as an education provider. So,
So
yeah.
bulk of your students come from North India, and so it's a message for the students. जो students हमारे यहाँ से North से जाते हैं, sometimes they get overwhelmed with the university environment. If they see a lot of foreign students around, nobody close to talk to, they get overwhelmed with the situation and they feel homesick. But with the IIBIT, a lot of North Indian students, you don't feel alienated. You connect with each other, so you get a lot of moral support. You make friends easily, so that helps with students, especially
Absolutely.
in the first few months.
Especially Indians, yes. And not just that, because as an international student, you aspire for overseas education because you're looking for a cultural blend. You're looking for students, you're looking to meet students from different nationalities, different backgrounds,
Right.
which is where IIBIT takes pride, because our two campuses, one in Sydney and the other one in Adelaide, we have students from different countries, different backgrounds, coming and studying and living, and associating with each other, building contacts, exchange of knowledge, learning new languages, exchanging cultures of, and learning new cultures is a good opportunity, which I think all international students look for, to broaden their
Right.
horizon and the world of opportunities for them.
Right.
Yes.
And that's the whole idea of studying in a world-class city. So it's a message for many students who are still aspiring or even just thinking of why to study overseas. You get to know the world. You live in a world-class city, make friends from across borders in so many countries. So your exposure is much bigger than you stay in a smaller place, and you become a world-class global citizen. So that's the whole idea of why you should study abroad.
Indeed. Yeah.
Wonderful. So what all courses do we run in both the campuses?
All right. So, being an educational provider, IIBIT, we are running our own vocational programs, which are diplomas and advanced diplomas, and we have various categories under that. We got vocational programs in leadership and management, IT. We got programs in health services, accounting, bookkeeping, marketing and communication, computer systems, technology. So these are where IIBIT offers the diplomas and advanced diplomas, which are exclusive to us, as well as in association with Federation University, we are offering their higher education programs, which are bachelor's and master's, again in various specializations. So to name some, our bachelor's, we have IT category. In IT, we got specialization of mobile applications, software development, business information system, networking and security, which is one of the popular programs. For commerce students, we got Bachelor's of Commerce and specialization in accounting. For students coming from business and humanities background and arts background, we got Bachelor of Business and Management specialization. So wide range of programs available for +2 students. For students who have already completed graduation and are looking for master's level qualification, a master program certificate, for those students, we got professional accounting, MPA, that is Master of Professional Accounting. For IT students, science students, we have got MTech in software engineering. We have got MTech in enterprise system and business analytics, which is project management, supply chain management, information security, cloud computing, CRM, business analytics. These are all a part of your enterprise system program. And for marketing and business students, we've got MBA, and we've got a beautiful program, which is MBA Health Services Management, which is a unique combination of, it's a unique combination of health services and management degree, wherein the first year is more focused on management and business skills, and the second year being the specialization of health services. So it's a wonderful program, beautifully designed as per the industry standards and the industry relevance. keeping in mind the requirements and desirability. As we all know, during these COVID-19 times, healthcare sector has emerged as one of the promising sectors, in Australia and worldwide. And there is a dire need of healthcare professionals, people from public health community, nursing background, and all those someone related through health. So this degree plays a vital role.
It's a very interesting degree. It's a very interesting career. People from wide variety of health services. A person could be BA, MS, Ayurvedic or homeopathic, or could be nursing background, any health background, or could be pharmacy. If you want to get into management position, supervisory role or an admin role, MBA Healthcare Management is a wonderful program. और अगर मैं यहाँ पे थोड़ा सा ऐड करूँ तो it becomes a very interesting GT positive case because somebody, what's the entry requirements for your MBA Healthcare Management?
So the entry requirement is quite reasonable, which is, if I talk about Ielts requirement, it is 6 overall and no band less than 6, which is typically reasonable as compared to other programs. If I talk about a general bachelor's of nursing student would aspire for masters of nursing, or a bachelor of social work student would go for a masters of social work qualifying. For those programs, the requirement starts from 7 and no less than 6.5.
That's what I'm trying to add here. So somebody who wanting to do master of pharmacy, किसी को master of pharmacy करनी है तो they need a 7 in each section at least, or sometimes even higher.
Correct.
So if they are not reached that IELTS score, MBA Healthcare Management is a wonderful course to get a visa, reach Australia, and reset your goals and do something in your life. So wonderful. Even your masters in ERPA, the Enterprise Resource Planning, with so many specializations of supply chain management, ITs, you can get background from engineering, you can get from IT, a wide variety of backgrounds. You can get into specializations and get a good GTE assessment and get a visa. So we've got a very interesting question from our viewer, our student here. So equivalent to IELTS, what is the PTE score that is acceptable?
Sure. So at IIBIT, in association with Federation University, we accept 4 levels of 4 types of English test requirements. We accept IELTS, PTE academic, TOEFL, and Cambridge test of English. So if I talk about the PTE equivalence requirement for IELTS, the PTE depends on program to program. For our master level program, it is 50 overall and no band less than 50. Okay. And for Bachelors of IT program, there are 5 courses in Bachelors of IT at IIBIT along with Federation. So for those program, it is 50 overall and no band less than 47, which is 5.5 equivalent and no less than 6 of IELTS.
So it's a message to the students here. Many students struggle to get an offer letter from many universities. Punjab में और हरियाणा में और North India में क्या होता है? They go to the smaller agents. और वो उनको 3 months, 6 months, they are just struggling to get the offer letter from the right provider. They don't understand where the requirements could match. And this is a message to all those students that with these PTE or IELTS requirements or the Cambridge test requirements, you can get an unconditional offer to the direct higher education, no diploma to degree, direct higher education where you
direct higher education.
So that's a very, very important message to the students here. So another question we have here is that how much gap is acceptable after year 12? So a lot of students, have been idle since Jan, Feb during this pandemic. So they are wondering, so what should be acceptable here?
Right. So, yes, keeping in mind the conditions, the prevailing conditions of COVID-19. So, IIBIT in association with Federation University, we have, we have been accepting students from +2 background, especially those who have completed their class 12 examination last year in 2019. So for those students, COVID-19 can be one of the genuine reasons which they can mention in the statement of purpose for not being able to enroll as of now in any of the intakes. So November 2020, which is our upcoming intake, can be a good option for those students to enroll, even if they haven't been able to enroll and have not been able to indulge themselves in any activities so far. If I talk about, plus two students, we don't have many options for those students in India. They can't go for work experience. They can't go for, any training or internships as well. All they can enroll for is, a program in any university or any provider here, or a certificate of 6 months, which they can do. If they have done anything of that sort, they can present it to us. We can consider it, depending upon the eligibility on case-to-case basis. And even if they have not done anything, they would still be eligible for our November intake with a reasonable explanation in the statement of purpose. So for 2019 students, there is still an option for you, and there is still a chance for you to apply for our November 2020 intake.
Right. Recently, we had few inquiries with students who passed out in 2018. Excellent academic record. They've done a 1 year, ITI government diploma after that. Would you be able to accept such students?
Unfortunately, sir, with Federation, with all due respect to their good academic results, unfortunately, with Federation University, diploma qualifications are not acceptable as a part of your academic entry requirement. Students should come from 10+2 module, 10+2 background, to be eligible for a bachelor's program. So unfortunately, diploma as your last qualification won't help you enroll with IIBIT.
Okay, so we've got one interesting question here regarding the same. One of our students is asking that since a 3-year diploma is equivalent to year 12 in India, so somebody has done a 3-year diploma after year 10, would that be acceptable?
Unfortunately, again, no, because I think I've answered this question in my previous answer. That unfortunately 3 years diploma, or be it a 1 year or 2 year diploma after your 10th, or even after your 10+2, won't be able to fetch you an admission with us. You should come from 10+2 background to be eligible for a bachelor's degree. Yeah.
So it's a very important clarification for students applying to Federation University, that if anybody promised them after a diploma that they would get an admission into Federation University, it won't be possible. So they should not waste time and check for other options.
Yeah, you should not fall for traps. Yeah.
Right. So you have all these courses in both your campuses in Sydney as well as Adelaide, or there's some difference of courses availability?
No, sir. All the programs which I just told you that I mentioned on the website as well, they are all available in both the campuses, Sydney and Adelaide, and they are available round the year. I mean, we have 3 intakes, unlike other universities who are offering 2 intakes every year. We have first intake in March, followed by July and November. This year, we are moving to November intake, and we have all the programs available for this intake in both the campuses with scholarships.
Okay, so one of our students is asking, somebody wants to go for a master's degree and is previously married. Do you accept such cases?
We do, yes. The marriage applications are, welcome at IIBIT with Federation University for master's program. There are 2 conditions, basic conditions to be fulfilled in that case. I'm sure INPHASE staff is quite well aware of this and they can help you. But just to give you a brief, if you are a married applicant and you are proposing to study with Federation University IIBIT, then your marriage should be 1.5 years old at the time of applying with us. It should be 18 months old as per your marriage certificate, and your spouse should be equally qualified. He or she should be graduate.
Okay, so that's a very important qualification. It's a good information. So जो भी हमारे स्टूडेंट्स ये सुन रहे हैं, if you are married, that is not a problem. आप 1.5 साल पहले मैरिड होने चाहिए जब आप अप्लाई कर रहे हो आपके मैरिज सर्टिफिकेट के अकॉर्डिंग, और आपका जो स्पाउस है, he should be equally qualified. Means अगर आपकी वाइफ इज मास्टर्स डिग्री अर्लियर तो आपकी मास्टर डिग्री होनी चाहिए, अगर वो बैचलर डिग्री है तो आपकी बैचलर डिग्री होनी चाहिए.
No, not really. When I say equally qualified, doesn't mean that they have to be masters. We are looking at the basic qualification that, if you are going for a master's qualification, that means you have already done your bachelor's in home country. And your spouse should also be a bachelor degree holder, graduate, with some working history. Yeah.
Thank you. It's an important clarification. So one more clarification, if you give somebody, sometimes the spouses have post-secondary qualifications, like, they have a specialized diploma after the year 12 and they are successfully running some business because of that. Would that be acceptable, or you just look at a bachelor's degree?
That would be acceptable depending upon case to case, because here we have to consider the main applicant's profile more.
More.
The emphasis is given to the main
So a good
applicant's
student
profile,
profile
but not the
and with a
spouse.
profile which is acceptable is fine.
Yes.
Okay. So see, one of our students is asking now that he or she has 45 marks in maths in year 12 overall PCM. Would you accept such a case?
Yes, I would like to check your year 10 and year 12 score overall, and the best for academic subjects, because we consider your best for academic subjects from CBSE board. If you have scored overall 60%, 60% in your best for academic subjects, then it should be okay. 45 marks in maths should be fine. But overall and best for should meet the entry requirement as well as your English entry requirement.
Okay. So do you suggest specific courses for them where maths should not be a big thing and they can select a good course?
Yeah, I mean, a student from PCM background from CBSE can obviously always opt for Bachelor's of IT. We have got Bachelor's of IT in Business Information System also, where we do not consider maths as a mandatory subject. So that can be one of the good programs. For these two can be one of the good programs for that particular
So
student.
it's an important clarification for a lot of students who have rumors in the market that if your maths is lesser and you've got PCM, it's difficult to get admission. No, there are courses in Australia like information systems that you
True.
can get admissions into and get your visa easily. So
Yes.
another caller is asking a question here that how much gap is acceptable after your graduation? So somebody, I won't say it's a gap after graduation if you've been working regularly for 3 to 5 years. So how much experience would you accept in that case?
Okay, so the acceptable education gap at IIBIT with Federation University is 6 months without any gap document. But since your question says that I have been working but salary is not in account, and how much gap is acceptable after bachelor's qualification, so we are at the moment we are accepting students who are 2016 qualified till 2016 and not earlier than that, provided that you are working since 2016 and you are able to furnish and present all your work experience documents as a proof of your work, as an evidence of your employment, which definitely will be verified. And if your salary is not in the bank account, that should not be an issue. If you are in a situation to provide either Form 16s or ITRs, income tax returns for all the financial years that you have been working for, that should solve the purpose.
Wonderful. So somebody who is working genuinely and salary is not in account doesn't have to worry if they furnish further details and file income tax returns of Form 16. That should be accepted.
Yes, and
Okay.
your employer's email ID is also important.
Right. So generally verifiable experience is required.
Yes.
Okay. So adding to that, if somebody suppose have a good experience, a very good institutional experience, somebody like working in a bank or an IT company, salary coming account. So do you accept students even beyond 2016 for such cases?
So we have to keep in mind, and we have to adhere to the age requirement for those students,
Right.
So as per as per Federation University, the maximum age required for a master's qualification is 28. So if you are under that, and considering all the other parameters, which region you come from, what kind of work experience is it, how long have you been working, and what is the mode of salary, and all those things. If the GTE risk factors, all the factors are under the limit and under the acceptable limit, that should be okay. But as of now, we have not seen any case which is which is earlier than 2016. So right now, we are only sticking ourselves to 2016 qualified students.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, wonderful. So that's a very important point that you should not be more than 28 to apply for Federation University.
Yes.
Okay.
And you should be 18 years of age to apply for our bachelor's program. You should
Okay. So
be
you don't
18
take
or more
under.
than 18. No,
You
under
don't
18
take under.
cases unfortunately are not acceptable because we don't have guardianship facilities at Federation. Students who are about to turn 18 in a month or so, they can still apply. But the students who are who will take time to turn 18, for them, I think that it would be advisable to apply for the intake when they have actually turned 18. Yeah.
So basically, students should be year 18 before they fly from Australia and before they start their course.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Okay, okay, I got that. So you need a student who can go without a guardian arrangement.
Correct.
So that's important point for students. So students who are lesser than year 18, they can contact our staff for some alternate options, but above 18, they are good to go with the IIBIT Federation. Right. So let's move on to a very important point of discussion, that is Adelaide. Adelaide has come into picture because that's probably the only regional city in Australia which is a full-fledged modern city. You cannot call Adelaide a regional city, and still it comes under the definition of a regional city where you get 3 years of PhD.
Yes.
So that's very interesting, very important. Students who are looking to get extra year of post-study work. So it's one of the most, I would say, attractive proposition in the whole world. You study for 2 years, get a post-study work for 3 years. In a country like Australia with one of the highest wage rates in the world.
Yes.
If I may add, a lot of students from North like to go to Canada or other countries, and which is good. They have their own choices. But many of the students don't know that Australia has one of the highest wage rates in the world. So if the education is expensive in Australia, the rewards are also better.
Returns are good. Yes.
The return on investment is very good in Australia.
Absolutely.
So tell me more about Adelaide. So how does the post-study work works, and how is your campus in Adelaide?
Yes, so our campus lies in the CBD area, which is right in the heart of the city. And most of the students might not know this, but Adelaide is known as the 20-minute city. This city is not as big as Sydney and Melbourne, and it's less populated. And if you use public transport, you can actually reach the beaches. You can hit the hills for trekking and other purposes within just 20 minutes. So this city is highly accessible. Public transport is really good. With less population, it brings more opportunities for you as an international student. I mentioned in my previous live session as well that there is a website which is studyadelaide.com being run by South Australian government, and this hashtag Study Adelaide has been trending from a very long time, where they have been trying to make, and they have been making Adelaide as one of the desirable destinations, trying to actually shift the focus of students from Sydney and Melbourne, which are typically popular destinations and famous for their own reasons, but now is the time when the cities like Adelaide and other regional areas are also coming up, providing extra benefits to international students, like Jagdeep ji just said about the post-study work permit. Where in the world you would get 3 to 4 years of post-study work permit if you take up your studies for 2 years, which means an extra year of stay, extra work experience that you can do during your PSW, more international exposure, more contact building, and more are the further prospects. So city like Adelaide has so much to offer. Being kept in the regional category also, it is one of the happening cities. I think it is as happening as Sydney, because Adelaide, the cricket lovers would know it, Adelaide has the biggest cricket stadium in Australia, which hosts more than 400 festivals every year, which includes sports events. Correct, which includes sports events, which hosts cultural events, various other musical concerts and festivals, which means that students will not only have access to entertainment, but they would also have access to work opportunities. If you take part in these activities and these events, you can earn extra income for yourself. You can earn certifications, as well as you can have quality lifestyle while staying in one of the most affordable cities of Australia. It is highly affordable in terms of renting, in terms of accommodation, food, travel.
Much cheaper than Sydney and Melbourne.
Much cheaper than Sydney and Melbourne. Yes.
Okay.
So
let
that's
me add
why
one
it
more
is.
thing here. Yeah, let me add one more thing here. I belong to Chandigarh. Our head office is in Chandigarh, and I've been to Adelaide for a few times. So Adelaide has a stark comparison to Chandigarh. It is very close to the hills, very thinly populated, small city. You can reach anywhere in 15-20 minutes. And it has quite a similar design to Chandigarh. So many students from the North India would connect to Chandigarh when they reach Adelaide.
And
so that's a very interesting point. Yeah, that's a very interesting point. So what are your fee structures generally?
All right. So the fee structure again is very, very competitive as compared to other, high-ranked universities, level 2 universities of Sydney and Adelaide. If I just give you a comparison, our master's program, Master of Professional Accounting, is 14,200 Australian dollars per semester. That's the per semester fee structure for MPA program, and for MBA also. MBA Health Services is the same, but we are giving scholarships. We are giving lucrative
Okay.
scholarships to international students. We are giving 20% scholarship for our Sydney campus at the moment, which brings
Oh,
down your
wonderful.
fee structure to 11,300 something Australian dollar per semester. And
That's
if I just
very
give you an
cheap.
annual, very affordable. If I give you an annual one, just the double of 11,000 would be 22,000 something
24.
approximately is the fee structure for an MBA and an MPA program. Which
Right.
means that students can save a lot if they choose to study at IIBIT Federation, and you can use that money for other purpose, for other expenses,
Right.
which they would incur as an international student. Our
So your
bachelor
tuition
program
fee
starts
plus
from.
yeah, so tuition fee plus living expenses would be equal to just the tuition fee of some other universities.
Correct, absolutely. Highly affordable option for international students, especially at this time when the budget constraints is a vital thing. Yeah.
Wonderful, wonderful. Okay, so guys, it's a very good message. IIBIT Federation is a very affordable university. It accepts ISO 6 bands with a 5.5 in each section. It has got a regional campus. You get extra year of post-study work. And there's a lot of other flexibilities also with scholarships and all. I think this is the most attractive option right now. So you can contact our counselors to apply with IIBIT Federation, and we'll get you through to fulfill your dreams to study in Australia. So
Yes.
talking about the dreams, with this COVID situation, a lot of dreams seem to have shattered for at least a smaller time period. Students are reluctant to take a decision right now because they're not sure when the borders will be open. So to start with, I can tell our students that Australian government has started giving visas. We've already got many visas in the last week, and
Yes.
they are granting the visas. They have allowed the universities to start the studies online. So a very important point here, see what the Australian government says now is if you start your course online and you have got your visa, you are eligible for post-study work right now. So if you apply for a visa to November session and the flights don't start in November somehow, we expect it should start, but if it doesn't start, so you have the option of studying online and still be eligible for the post-study work.
Correct.
And I think one clarification I'll have from you, but I think it is the case if somebody doesn't want to start the course online, they have the option of deferring to the March intake, right?
Absolutely right. They can always defer to next intake if they do not want to enroll for online class and actually want to start the studies on campus. So they do have an option of
Right.
deferment. Yes.
So if somebody tells you बच्चों में बहुत बहुत र्यूमर है अभी कि अगर आपका वीजा आ जाता है तो आपको ऑनलाइन पढ़ना ही पड़ेगा because some students are reluctant to study online. But ऐसा नहीं है. You can even defer your studies to March intake, and definitely you're going to apply before that. There are all likely the chances that the flights will resume as soon as possible. And March is far away. So you can, apply now, get your visa, be sure if you want to study online, you can start studying online, or you have the option of getting deferment.
There is a
But
benefit of studying online actually. Jagdeep ji, I'd like to add something here, and sorry for interruption. But if a student chooses to enroll for online classes at the moment, and later on, once the travel restrictions are lifted and they can actually fly and start their studies onshore, they will be able to manage and save a lot of their living expenses in Australia, which is
yeah,
which is an affordable proposition. Otherwise, if you calculate for your 3 years of bachelor studies or a 2 years of master's program in Australia, it is an expensive fare for international students. Especially in Sydney and Melbourne, which are two of the most expensive cities in Australia. I don't talk about Adelaide because Adelaide is affordable, and students can manage easily their accommodation expenses, traveling, and food expenses. But if you chose to enroll for online classes at the moment and start with 1 or 2 units in the beginning, you will save a lot of time, and then once the travel restrictions are lifted, then you can continue and complete your program over there.
What I understand is that, one more point I want to add to this online study is, for the benefit of students, even if you are able to fly somehow and you reach Australia, you may not be able to get part-time jobs, because part-time jobs in pandemic are not available, even in the stores or
Yes.
anything. Most of the offices are closed. So it's better to save your money on reaching there and studying as of now, and save all those living expenses and study online. Just few units, not you don't get
True.
a full load of studies. Just 1 or 2 units. You start online, and once things are getting to normal, you understand if you stay there, you get job, and you will take care of your living expenses. So it's better to travel when things are more normal. But you start your studies online now, get some of your workload over, and you can study full load later on when you reach there. So start your studies.
Yes.
Don't waste your time. Save your 6 months to 1 year from here, and you are still eligible for post-study work, PR opportunities, settlement opportunities. Everything is available. So one of our students is still asking one question, that since they would be a bit indecisive about when to pay their fee or to get the COE to apply for a visa, is it possible that the university is accepting a few units fee for right now, and they can apply for the visa, and once the flight start they can pay rest of the fee or something like that?
Yes, definitely. We are in conversation with Federation University. In fact, we have done the same arrangement for our July intake. All those students who enrolled for online classes for our July intake, we have been only asking for the number of units they are going to enroll for. They'll only have to
Right.
pay for those number of units. For example, if somebody enrolled for 1 unit, they paid only $1,700 for that particular unit. And if they did for
Right.
two, because maximum they can enroll for 2 units for the July. So if they did for two, that was 3,400 Australian dollar, and not the complete semester fee or the 1 year fee, which again means that they will be saving a lot of money. And then there will be a flexible payment option for international students to pay once they start the next unit and the subsequent semesters. Or if the travel restrictions open and they can fly and start the studies on campus, then there will be again a flexible option of payments being given to the international students. For our upcoming
Right.
November intake, we are in conversation with Federation University to bring up the same process for students who will be enrolling for November, because now the visas have started to come, and that's a great sign. Because the visas are coming, so the students can definitely apply, get the approval, and once the visa comes through, they will have a valid entry source in Australia. It's all that they'll have to wait for the borders to open. But my recommendation would be to start for online classes as soon as possible, and later on the other things can be managed easily.
I think there's a very interesting message out of it. Many motivational speakers generally say that there's always an opportunity in a problem. So there's a huge
True.
opportunity here. It's a message to our students कि अगर वो देखेंगे तो कभी भी आप ऑस्ट्रेलिया 1 या 2 लाख रुपए खर्च के नहीं जा सकते. So it's a huge opportunity जहाँ 1 या 2 लाख रुपए देके आप COE ले सकते हो और अपना वीजा अप्लाई कर सकते हो, and you can start your study. And the university is even willing to consider some installment payments when even it starts. You're not saying that they'll have to complete a semester's fee before they apply. You're willing to give them installment options later on also. So एक बहुत अच्छी opportunity है जहाँ आप थोड़ा थोड़ा करके पे भी कर सकते हो और अपना साल भी बचा सकते हो पढ़ाई का.
Correct.
It's a big opportunity for students if they're listening. That you can, spend few amounts, get your COA enrollment done, get your visa to Australia, fulfill your dreams now, and pay in installments. It's wonderful message. So thank you so much, Tanuj. You've given us a wide variety of information. I'm very sure it should be very helpful to our students. And the message is clear here that there are a lot of opportunities to study in Australia right now, like paying in installments, extra year of post-study work, flexibility. We've also seen that the visas are also more flexible as of now than it used to be in the last year July intake. So visas are
Yes.
easily coming. So don't waste your time. Enroll now. Contact our counselor, and we are there to help you with everything. And thank you so much, Tanish, for joining us today. I think it should be very helpful to our students.
I hope so. And my only message to students will be to utilize this time to research for yourself. In case you have questions, in case you have doubts, planning your future prospects, then feel free to move to, INPHASE. They are available digitally if you don't want to go to the physical office and, walk in, considering the situation. So connect with them, have a word with them, discuss your profile, and I'm sure they'll have something for everyone. Yeah.
Thank you for adding that. All our counselors are available virtually. You can send your documents on WhatsApp, and you can talk on video calls, and we can help all our students. Thank you so
Wonderful.
much for joining us. We'll wrap this up with all hope and wishes for the good times to come. COVID would be over very soon, and we'll have students studying in Australia, visiting the Sydney Harbour and the Adelaide wineries and all those things. Thank you
Adelaide
so much.
Vineyards. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jagdeep ji.
Thank
It was
thank
wonderful
you.
being a part of your session once again. Take care. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.